Today's topic in my tutorial class is calculation of mean from a group data. The tutorial is basically important for the student of class 9 to 12 standard. In this class, I am explaining the various methods of calculating mean instead of the traditional definition used in your textbook. I hope you all are benefited. Before starting the topic, let me explain some basic but very important term, the data. Now, what is data? The word data refers to information that is collected and recorded. It can be in form of numbers, words, measurements, and much more. There are two types of data, and these are qualitative data and quantitative data. But here we are not discussing about the qualitative and quantitative data. As you know, qualitative data is used to describe numerical information, and qualitative data is used to describe information in words. So after collecting data, it needs to be organized, hence the need to separate group data from ungrouped data. Both are useful form of data, but there are some differences between them. Now the content of the topic. First one, we are discussing about ungrouped data, and secondly we are discussing about the disadvantages of ungrouped data, and thirdly we are discussing about the group data, and fourthly we are discussing the advantages of group data, and lastly we are discussing about the methods of calculating mean for group data. Now we are discussing about ungrouped data. What is ungrouped data? Ungrouped data is the data you first gather from an experiment or study. The data is true, that is, it is not sorted into categories, classified or otherwise grouped. An ungrouped set of data is basically a list of numbers. From this ungrouped data, we are not able to get any information about the data. Sometimes it is rather difficult to understand. So there are some disadvantages of ungrouped data. The first one is we are not able to get concrete idea about data, and we are also not able to analyze data. So from ungrouped data we are not able to interpret data, and we are not able to represent data by histogram. Now group data. So group data is data that has been organized into grouped from the raw data. It has been classified into categories based on similar characteristics. Group data is data that has been organized into frequency distribution. Frequency tables are used to show the information of group data. Whenever constructing group data, this class intervals plays an important role. But there are some conditions in forming of class interval. That means for most data 6 to 5 classes are enough. A class interval should be equal. The starting point for each class should be divisible by the interval. Now, however, when analyzing it and drawing graphs, group data is preferred because it is simple to interpret. Here we have given some advantages of group data. Firstly, it helps in analyzing data, it helps in drawing graph, it helps to classify into categories based on similar characteristics, it helps to get more accurate information as compared to ungrouped data. For calculating mean, here we have considered an example. So in this example we have considered a weight of 15%. After collecting this data, for the first step we have arranged this data in ascending order. After arrange the data in ascending order, we make this ungrouped frequency distribution table. In the first column represents the weight of person, and the second column represents the number of person, and this number of person we can call it as the frequencies. That means the weight of 50%, the number of person whose weight is 50 is 1, and the number of person whose weight is 54 is 2. This way I have made this ungrouped frequency distribution table. Now from the above ungrouped frequency distribution table, we can construct grouped frequency distribution table by introducing this class interval. Here, as we observe in the class interval 50 to 55, here the number of person is 3. Similarly, from 55 to 60, here the number of person is 6. So here in this class interval, this 50 is lower limit and this 55 is called our upper limit. But here we are considering the values from 50 to 54 only. Here we are not considering 55. So this type of class interval is called exclusive class interval, or we can call it as continuous class interval also. Now the methods of calculating mean for group data. Here we have these three methods. First one is direct method, and second is assume mean method, and the third is step deviation method. This is our direct method. Here we have given this procedure. In the first step, we have to determine the midpoint of each class interval. After finding the midpoints, we multiply these midpoints by the frequencies of the corresponding classes. After that, divide the sum of the products that we have already got by the total number of value, which will be the value of the mean. Now here we have construct this table by using the direct method of calculation. In the first column is the column of class interval. Now here the length of the class interval is 5, and this class interval is our exclusive class interval or continuous class interval. In the second column is the column of frequency. It means the number of persons belonging to each class. And the third column is the column of midpoint. This midpoint are the representative of this class intervals. This midpoint is the average of the lower limit and the upper limit. This fourth column is the product of the frequencies and the mid value. After that, we find out the summation f is total of frequency. Now this is the summation fxi, and the value of summation fxi is 1235. Now this is the formula for mean by using the direct method. Now using this method, we get the value of mean is 61.75. Second method is assume mean method. This assume mean method is used for calculating mean of a group data. If the given data is large, then this method is recommended rather than a direct method for calculating mean. This method helps in reducing the calculations and results in small numerical values for easy computation. Now these are the steps for finding the mean by using the assume mean method. Now here we construct this table by using the assume mean method. The first column is the class interval, and the second column is number of person, and the third column is mid value. In the fourth column, here we are using the assume mean, that is 62.5. This is our assume mean, and in this here we subtract this assume mean from this mid value. These our values of di. This is the column of FIDI. After that, we find out the summation of Fy, that means total frequency, which is 20, and here summation Fy xi is minus 15. After that we find the value of d bar, that is minus 0.75. After that we are using the formula of assume method, that is x bar is equal to a plus d bar. Here our a is 62.5 and d bar is equal to minus 0.75. Now 61.75 is the value of mean by using the assume method. Now step deviation method. When the data is given in the form of large numbers, then sometimes it is difficult and even lengthy to find the mean by using the measure mean method. So in such cases we follow another method called step deviation method. Using this method we can further reduce calculation. It is used to reduce the mathematical calculations when we don't have to use calculator and the numbers are difficult to calculate. Now here using this procedure to find the mean by using the step deviation method. Now here we have constructed table by using the method of step deviation method. Here also first column is for class interval, second column is for number of person, third column is the mid value, and the fourth column is the value of di, and in the fifth column we divide the subtraction by the class length, and here our class length is this one 5, and which gives the value of ui. In the last column we find this is the product of Fy and ui, and these are the values of Fiui. After that we find the summation of Fy, that is 20. This is our total frequency, and this is the value of summation Fiui, and that is minus 3. After that we calculate the value of u bar, and that is minus 0.15. After that we are using the method of step deviation. This is the formula of getting mean by using the step deviation method, that is x bar is equal to a plus ac into u bar. Here a is 62.5, this is our assuming, plus h, that means class length, this is our 5, and value of u bar is minus 0.15. After calculating this we got the value of mean is 61.75. So this is the value of mean by using the step deviation method. As you observe that in these three methods we get the same value of mean, that is 61.75. I hope all of you like my tutorial class. So thank you and have a good day.